Welcome to this month's Gold Star video. I am so excited to share with you all of the things that we've been doing with Budget Babes.
Hi, I'm Megan with Bethel Budgets. I'm here because it's more than just math. At some point, you've probably built a budget. You've laid out your income, you've laid out your expenses, and thought it's simple math. I'll just stick to what's on the paper. But then life happened and your budget didn't work out. The reason? Because it's more than just math. That's where I come in. Let's figure this out together. Don't give up. You've got this.
We met last week as a budget team check-in. So every month, the Budget Babes meet to close out our old budgets and build our new budgets. And we talk about our Gold Star moments and our goals. So our Gold Star moments are celebrating something great that happened in relation to our budgets for the previous month, and our goal is a goal that we are setting for our budget for the next month. So every month that we meet, we start by opening up and sharing about those things. And then once a quarter, we bring in the budget team. So we call it a budget team check-in. And so this is when the babes are bringing in their spouses or their fiancés or their accountability partner, their best friend, whoever it is that is on their budget team that they would check in with. They're bringing them in and we work together. So there's childcare provided, there's snacks for the kids, we have childcare workers, we have food for the adults, and we bring in a guest speaker. So the babes arrive early and we do all of the regular closeout and building the budget for the next month. And then the budget team comes. They bring the kids, we take the kids to the childcare rooms, and then we get started with our goals and our Gold Star moments. We talk about all of those. We have a big celebration and we have a guest speaker. Last time was a marriage counselor that walked us through the state of the family and how to have conversations with your family about all of the things. So we touch on budget, we touch on calendar, we touch on positives and negatives within the relationship between us and our kids. So we talk about all of those things and how to have those conversations regularly and in a meaningful way and in a safe way. So having those conversations regularly prevent big blow-ups because you are more prepared for the week at hand. You've had those conversations in advance, so less things are dropped, less balls are dropped, more preparation is done in advance, and you're just more in touch with what's happening. This month, we had an estate planner come and talk to us about how to prepare for the worst, how to set up your family the best way that you possibly can in case the worst happens. What kind of documents do you need? Who's going to take care of your kids, and is that set up properly? What's the difference between a will and a trust, and how does that work in our state? We live in Missouri, so we talked mostly about Missouri. But we talked about all of those things, and to be quite honest, as we were all sitting there, and our estate planner is a friend of mine from where I work, that I was a little scared, honestly, because he was using big words and talking about things that were way above my pay grade. And I'm sitting here going, okay, some of these people, we are still just learning the very basics of budgeting, and how is this gonna go? And I was a little scared, but by the time he opened it up for questions, some of these people that I had hardly heard a peep from in the months and months and months I've been working with these families, they lit up, they had tons of questions. It was really, really cool. I was really excited to see the engagement level and the interest and how excited people were to actually get started and take that next step, besides the basics of the monthly budgeting setup, but to take those steps in that giant, big financial picture step to set their family up for success, and if the worst happens, to really protect their family. So it was really exciting. It was a great budget team check-in. I'm just always so encouraged after I meet with these ladies every month and these teams once a quarter. I love this thing that we get to do with Budget Babes. So I'm happy. I'm just happy. So let's jump in with our Gold Star moments and our goals for this month from the Budget Babes. What I like about the team check-ins is they get to talk about these things with their spouse there. And in most cases, for these check-ins, it is their spouse. So they're talking about these things with their spouse there, so we get input from the spouses, or at least the spouse is getting to hear what they've been working on and how excited we all are for them. It's a really cool process. So I'm gonna go through and let you know what some of our goals were and our gold star moments. We're gonna start with Lila. Lila has been really working over the last couple of months, 6 months or so. They just had a baby at their family. And so I guess since February, they've really been working on their groceries and their grocery budget and trying to eat at home more and meal prep and do all of that. And so they've slowly been trying to figure this out, and while having the challenge of a new baby at home, and he started a new job, and it's been really tough, but they've been working really hard on it. And this time their grocery budget, they set their grocery budget and they meal planned and they meal prepped, and they only went over in their grocery budget by $50. That is a huge gold star moment for them, because I know my grocery budget, I've been going over by $300 to $500 a month. So $50 over was a huge step in the right direction for this family. Gold star moment, Lila. Gold star for you. I'm so proud of you. And their goal for this coming month is they are having to replace some windows in their house. So they are troubleshooting how to do that and making sure they set money aside for that. And we were kind of teasing about how that is such a boring thing to set money aside for. What a non-fun adulting thing to do, but what an important thing to do when you're budgeting. Windows is a huge expense, and if you don't plan ahead for that, that could really, really hurt you. So I'm proud of you for setting that goal, for working with your budget team or your spouse to figure that out. So gold star, Lila, I'm proud of you guys. Next is Katie. She is the most frugal person I know, but she had an unexpected expense of needing a new oven this month and still managed to keep that within her monthly budget. She managed to find the space in her monthly budget to get them a new oven. So gold star, Katie, that did not throw you off. She didn't have to dip into her emergency fund. Super impressive. That, by the way, would be something that would be an emergency fund worthy expense, but she didn't need to break into her emergency fund. She managed to move things around within her monthly budget to pay for that new oven. So gold star, Katie, I'm really proud of you. Katie's goal for this coming month is to refill and reallocate some lump sum sinking funds that she's been working on. They had to take some things out from the month before, and so they're trying to rebalance and do that, as I did that last month too. So I know exactly how that feels. And it's just a matter of moving some things around, but that is their goal for this month, to sit down and figure that out together. So good job, Katie. Next, I'll talk about Kayla. Kayla has been struggling to stay within her budget month after month. They have had different expenses come up, and so we've struggled with blowing the budget, but Kayla has been going over budget every single month. So her goal this month was to stay on budget no matter what. And I'll be honest, that was a very lofty goal, because knowing that they'd been going over budget and knowing they had 2 vacations coming up this month, I was like, ooh, that's a lofty goal. But you know what? She did it. Gold star, Kayla. They stayed within budget, right? They stayed within budget for this month with 2 vacations, and their van died. So they had to go get a new vehicle, and still, I mean, that maths out like they're gonna have to have a payment now, but they stayed within their budget with 2 vacations. Gold star, Kayla, that is super impressive. I'm super proud of you, especially because that's been a challenge, ongoing challenge, and to have 2 vacations, that's really impressive. I'm really, really proud of you. So Kayla's goal for next month is, now with this new car payment and having had a taste of staying on budget, can they continue to stay on budget with this new car payment? They're really working on having to rebalance some categories and just new numbers. New numbers are hard. It takes a couple of months to get into the swing of new numbers, but her goal for this month is to, with this car payment, to stay within her budget with the new car payment. So good job, Kayla. I'll talk about mine next. Ours was that we made progress in our basement. So we had this basement flood 2 years ago next week. It was awful. We had about 3 feet of water in the basement. We needed a new HVAC system. We needed a new water heater, deep freeze. Our refrigerator died with all the loss of power and everything. Our fridge broke upstairs too. We needed new drywall, carpet, everything. And insurance covered none of it. 80 homes in our subdivision were flooded that way. 8 homes were condemned. It was awful. I've been going back through some of my memories of that time, and I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it, but it has been a long, hard road to recover that basement. We have been doing it ourselves, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, because my husband was going to school full-time, working full-time, doing an internship. It's been nuts, but we are finally making progress. We have doors, we have trim on the floor, the walls are painted. We've been getting carpet quotes. You guys, we are about to have a basement again. So we have this sinking fund for the basement remodel, but it's about to be wiped out, and so my bank account's about to go way down low, but I'm so excited that it's gonna be done. So that's my gold star moment. So gold star to me, gold star to my husband. That's a big deal for us to do that with no debt. I'm very proud of us. Our goal for this month is that I gave us some new numbers to work with. I gave up on our grocery budget and I upped our grocery budget from $1,200 to $1,500. Some of you are probably going, because I know that's a lot of money, but we have food allergies and food sensitivities, and we choose to eat whole foods. We eat expensively at our house, and we know we do, but it is how we've chosen to live and eat for our health, and it is a worthy expense in our minds, and that's how our priorities are. So we spend a lot of money on food, but $1,200 for our family of 6 to eat whole foods was not cutting it anymore. So I have upped our budget to $1,500, which means we trimmed down our dining out category and our date night category. And so we'll go on like one date night where we get to go out to eat, and then we'll do a free date night a month. So we're just gonna have to relearn some of these things, and just that's our goal, is that we stay within those new numbers. Next, I want to talk about Becca and how amazing she's been doing. She is one that has come so far. Her and her husband have just worked so hard over this past year and a half that I've been working with them. I have seen such major improvements. They are ones that were coming with a negative bank account all the time, and just struggles and conversations and willingness to work together that they have had that is just beyond, exceeding my expectations all the time. I'm just so proud of them. So their gold star moment is that they met with their financial planner. This is a new thing for them. They've been going for a couple months now, I guess, to this financial planner, but they got life insurance and they got their Roth IRAs set up, and they're starting to fund their Roth IRAs, which I'm super excited about. This is putting them in such a much better financial picture. They've got some goals set up. Their goal is to buy a farm someday, so they have like a savings plan set up for that. I am so proud of them. Gold star Becca, good job. You're just doing amazing. It was such amazing progress. I am just so excited for you guys. Their goal for this month is to finish closing out June, set up July, and figure out how much more they need to fully fund their 3 to 6 month emergency savings. They're very close, and they just need to get a better handle on, just reevaluating that and seeing where they stand and how much more they need and what their goals are for that. So their goal is to get that picture better set up. Gold star Becca. So next I want to talk about Kim. Kim came and she was starting to talk so defeatedly about her progress last month, and I was like, but wait. And so then she did get there, and I was so glad because she really did do so much. So Kim came and she worked on sinking funds. She sat down and she had this big chunk of money in her savings account, and she sat down and she made her sinking funds list, and she set some aside for her emergency fund. So she has her emergency fund fully funded. She determined how much of that was what she wanted to put aside for her down payment on her house, the fund that they're building for that. And then she allocated the rest for her sinking funds. She listed out all of her sinking funds, and she assigned certain amounts of money for them. Figured out the due dates for all of them. It was a big project and it was a big deal, And she did so good with that, and she feels so much better now that she got that done. Gold Star Kim, it must feel so good to know exactly how much money you need at all times in every single month, what your savings goal is, how much you need to have it set aside, and to know that that money is there. You have just strengthened your monthly budget. You have strengthened your emergency fund. You have strengthened your savings by sitting down to create that plan. Gold Star Kim, good job. Now, Kim's goal for this month is to stick with this lump sum sinking fund plan and her monthly budget. So she's trying to figure out how much she needs to put in her lump sum sinking fund and how much she's going to take out, like how do those transfers work, and to stick within those. So her sinking funds for school supplies were going to come out in August, but now there's this great deal in July. So how does she, now she gets to be the one to figure out how to reallocate some sinking funds. And it's a learning process. When you start this, you're going to figure out, okay, so next year I should put that due date for school supplies maybe in July and not August. She's doing it. I'm proud of her. So her goal is to stick with this new lump sum sinking fund system and her monthly budget. Next, I want to talk about Kathy. Kathy is new to the Budget Babes, so her gold star, I'm just going to give her a bonus gold star. She was there. Gold star Kathy, you were there. You did awesome. Kathy's gold star also is that she sat down. So she kind of started in the middle of the month. We met, we went out to coffee. I met with her at her house a couple times. We set up a budget. We set up every dollar so that we could start tracking her transactions. Well, we met kind of towards the end of the month by that time when it was time to start tracking transactions for June to close out her June budget. And we went back and forth with, do you track all those transactions or don't you? And she did it. She decided to track all those transactions so that she could have a better picture to build her July budget. I think it was the right move. I'm proud of her for doing that, but it took a lot of time. That was a lot of time and a lot of dedication to sit down and track a whole month's worth of transactions in one sitting. I think she did it in a couple sittings, actually, like an hour here, an hour there. Within a couple of days, she tracked an entire month's worth of transactions. Gold star Kathy, that is no small task. I am so proud of you. Good job. And now your July budget is going to be that much stronger because you did that. You were able to refine your July budget because you knew exactly what you spent in June. So Kathy's goal then is to build that July budget based on her June spending and just to keep going and refining July and keep tracking those expenses as they go throughout July rather than waiting to the end of July. But that won't be a problem now because she's all set up. So the next one I want to talk about is Margie. She actually started like she didn't have any gold star moments to say, but you know, she was there. She admitted that she was feeling a little defeated. It had been a couple months since she truly tracked and closed out her budgets. She was struggling with keeping up. But you know what? She was there. And so gold star Margie, you were there. You are attempting to go back. She has been going back and trying to capture what she had done in the past couple of months so she can start July fresh, build that budget, and then keep up from there. So she's not quitting, she's not giving up, she's not trashing that budget and starting over. I made a video about that not too long ago, how important it is to keep going. She is doing the thing. She is capturing all of that data. She is closing out her old budgets, and she is going to start fresh with a new July budget. So Margie, I'm so proud of you. Gold star for you. Way to show up even when you feel defeated. There is no shame in that you should be so proud of yourself for doing the hard thing. That is so hard to do, to just show up sometimes when you feel defeated. I think that was the most brave thing anybody could have done that day. There is so much standing in the way of some of these babes getting to some of these meetings, especially on team check-in days when you have to bring your spouse and your kids. So many things can stand in your way, and you did it, and you were there, and I'm so proud of you for it. And then Margie's goal is to really start identifying some patterns in her budget. So what are things that are constantly being overspent or constantly underspent? So what are some patterns that she can really use to refine future budgets? Margie, these are great goals, and these are this is a great gold star moment. It's something that everybody really can learn from. Things are gonna stand in your way. It's those more than just math moments. I'm done with the gold star and the goals, and now I'm just preaching. These more than just math moments, these things that are gonna stand in your way, these things you're gonna beat yourself up about, these things that are going to feel impossible, they're gonna happen, and they're gonna happen to everybody, and they're gonna happen at different times, and they're going to feel insurmountable. But you can do this. You can keep going. I promise you can do this. Come sit alongside of us, do these budgets with us together, look for those patterns. What is making it feel impossible? Go watch that video where I'll link it below, where it talks about how to get past some of these roadblocks and to do the hard thing, because you can do it. Keep going. You've got this.